So this was on October 27th, 2021. My question for God was, how do I go back out into the world but not let the world change me? How do I change the world? And how do I do it without feeling like I'm fighting all of the time? And this is what God told me. You trust me, you follow me, you do what I do, and you go where I go. It's like a dance, and I am leading you. We will waltz our way through this together. You aren't expected to do this on your own, or know how to work through this by yourself. You are supposed to come to me every single time you feel this way, and I will help you. I haven't released you back out into the wild just for you to get trapped or caught in the snare of the enemy. Oh no, no, my child, you are far from being ready to take on this world alone. That's why I have created our relationship to be as strong as it is. You are simply being placed and getting a taste of the wild or the real world, but I will not let you drown. I will hold your head above water. Remember, your lifeguard walks on water. Hold my hand and we will dance across the ocean waves together. Remember, my strength is for you to use and for you to call on. You are not alone in this fight. You are battling what is inside. Waves of pride, self-worth, love, patience, and trust are what are crashing against you. You feel unbalanced simply because you have one foot out the door. You need to remain grounded on the specific promises that I have made for you. Do not get off course, do not get distracted, and do not lose focus. Don't let the enemy try and divide you, and do not let him get a hold on you. The promises that I gave to you were for you and only you. They are what will get you through this storm. Hold on to my hand and close your eyes and remember what I promised to you and your promised land. Those cannot and will not be taken from you. No matter what you do, they will always be with you and they will always be yours. I promise you will see your promised cloud right up the storm clouds break. Just like Paul on his trip to Rome when his boat crashed because of their storm and they couldn't see anything for days. They had nothing to go on except me. They had nothing to follow except me. I was their compass. I was their map. And I promised each of them that they would all get there and be safe in their promised land. You are in the storm now, and you feel as if you can no longer see and the world around you has caved in. You feel lost and free all in one sentence. Just like my faithful servant who was on his way to Rome as I had promised him, but he was doing so as a prisoner. He felt both freedom and oppression all at once. But he knew where he was headed, and he knew who was leading the boat. Me. I was. I was the captain, and I was taking my children home where I promised they would be. The storm could not touch them. It could, however, destroy their boat and their food and all of their comfort. But I had already spoken to the storm, and it could not destroy them. For they are my children, then just as much as you are my child now. I have already commanded the storm cannot touch you, and it will not destroy you. You will reach your promised land, even if you're a little banged up and you're clutching onto the storm and clutching onto your shipwreckage. I promise you, you will reach your promised land, even if you're a little banged up. My word is firm and cannot be broken, for the truth is what I have already spoken. Today may be the day of the storm, and tomorrow, and maybe the day after that. But I can promise you one thing is for sure, and that is that your promised land is where you will wash upon shore. Keep your head held high and don't panic. Do as Paul did and count your blessings, and thank me for my plan, and throw whatever needs to go over the side. Don't look back, but hold on to the seeds that you have planted, and go full steam ahead. You will most surely run upon dry land, your promised land. I felt like that was just a really good word of confirmation to know that God really does see us when we are in our seasons of just feeling isolated and like we are going through all of the trials and all of the temptations and everything is coming against us and we just feel like we are in a storm, in a boat, in the storm, just feeling like we are getting knocked around. We have no control. We don't know where we're going. We can't see anything, and we are starting to lose sight of what we're doing and where we're going. And for me, like I've just recently kind of come out of that season, that I want to remind you that it's okay for you to feel all of those feelings when you're in that season, and it's okay to take them to the Lord and tell Him that that is how you're feeling, because He knows, He understands. That makes sense for our human mind to do those things, but that He's reminding us that He is the captain of the boat. He can calm the storm all around the boat, and He can also get the boat there on His own. It may look different for you. All of our storms look different, but he may not quiet the storm around you. He may just get you safely through the storm. And I know for me that's a really hard concept to know that he could stop the storm and he's choosing not to. But I also can understand coming from the other side, knowing that I had to learn the things that I had to learn in that season and go through those things to to be where I am at now, to move me forward even further. And so God's the only one that knows that. He's the only one that knows if he is quieting you through the storm or if he's quieting the storm for you. And so for me, this was just like a really good reminder word to know that God's got it. He is our captain, and he knows. He, he has already spoken to the storm, and it will not take you out. It will not destroy you. It may take all of your comfort. It may take anything that isn't rooted in God and anything that hasn't been provided to you by God. But you will make it. You will make it. And that's all you need, because when you're on the other side, you can create anything you want again. And you don't need those things. And even if you're clutching on to the shipwreckage and you wash ashore, you still know you're going to make it, and you still can trust that God's going to get you there. And for me, that was really what I needed to know when I was going through my times of testing, and the storm around me felt so out of control and felt so unimaginably large that I didn't even know how I was going to make it. But God he just keeps guiding you through it. That's what these words are. It's just as I'm going through my own season, he just continues to guide me through it. And I just want to share them with you, I guess. But really, that God, he's got you, and it's going to be okay. And you will come out of this storm stronger and more prepared. And just like Paul, you will get to your destination. It may not look how you think it's going to look, but you will reach there, and it will be okay.